Thanks. Uh, Hello, everyone. I'm Min-Jung. I'm product designer at ATG Entertainment. So today, the topic I would like to share is the balancing the quantity and quality in scaling user research. So a bit of background about the company that I work with. So I'm currently working in online ticketing platform, and our company is a venue operator. So we have theaters, arena type of live performance venues across the US, the UK, and in Germany. As most of you already know that I'm a product designer. So doing the user research is even more challenging as my job because I was expected not only to do the research, but also more importantly for my stakeholders is that I actually deliver the UI artifacts to the engineers for them to build the work. So quantitative and qualitative, how to balance in between these two within a very tight time constraint is very important. So I would like to share a case study that my approach on my recent project, Digital Tickets, how I approach it on the user research. So here are some introduction of our company. We have venues across these countries, around 64 venues. And we have the venues like the West End and Broadway theaters, smaller type of theaters, which could accommodate up to 400 people, to this arena type of venues, which could accommodate more than 6,000. For the Smart Financial Center, we could accommodate 6,400 people. So to not only the digital ticket for us, it's not just the customers, but also for those people who work in the front of house, scanning the tickets and maintaining the queue. It's quite crucial as a venue operator. As you could see that in our West End and Broadway venues, we have lots of international audiences. So the diverse audiences will present like a quite an opportunity, but also a challenge in both ends. For example, the language and the age group, the nationality, and also even in the venue, we have access member, people who have access needs. So they all have, and we also have the membership scheme. So it all adds the complexity into the digital tickets project. And here are I highlighted some of the techniques to maintaining the quality at scale. The first very important is the user segmentation. And as I mentioned earlier, that as a venue operators, so we're not only looking at the customers, the tickets, but also what the information should be presented would be clear for our front of house team to check. So some example would be in our venues, we have some like VIP lounge, and if they have seen some of the icons or the sign on the ticket, they could direct them to the right direction. Or if like some arena type of venue, they have lots of entrance and they could direct them to the right way to enter the auditorium. So user segmentation is quite important at the beginning of the research. And because of the time constraint, we have 38 venues across London. So how I separate into different user group is that I will put all of the similar venue type of the front of house teams together and do the focus group, asking them if they encounter any challenges when scanning tickets in specific venues. And the same as different type of user groups, we have the US, UK, and the regional venues. And the third one is that we have the research templates in place. So it will speed up the research process. We use a lot of like a workshop templates and some of the research user flow, some templates in place, and we could just follow using the same one and make it consistent. And for the playback deck, we have the PowerPoint templates, and we all share all the templates on the team SharePoint. And I would like to highlight an element that's quite important is collaborating across different teams to ensure the quality. So not only working as a digital team, we're not only working with some other marketing team and ticketing team, but also the front of house and the venue team. And there's so many people that could provide the insights with us, especially the front of house team. They are the first interaction with our customers. So although that their title are not user researcher, but we often could get lots of insights from their observation, telling us what our customers encounter, any challenges, or what they observe our customers. And it's really help us to get the insight, so we don't have to, because I'm the only one person doing the digital tickets the design wise. So I don't have to do the lots of user interview myself and getting some of the insights from them. It's quicker. And another one is doing some of the online remote meeting with the venue team abroad. And you don't have to visit all of the venues, but getting the insights as well. And I think collaborating with different team, it's not only helping me getting the insights, and actually they've already done the work for you. So you just gather all of the insights already in place. And for them, it's also a good way to letting them know that they are a part of this project. And also it's a good way to get the early stakeholder buy-in when we're collaborating with different teams. And here are some tools to balancing the quantity with quality. So the first one I use quite often is the unmoderated user testing, which is currently we're using Userlytics. So you could set up a set of behavioral questions at the beginning and set up some of the tasks that you would like the user to test. So when I launch it, normally I could get 5 to 10, 20 people get the responses back within a day. So you don't have to schedule the user interview one by one. But of course, if I have more time, ideally would be good to do that, because I could ask follow-up and in-depth questions in the one-on-one interview. But if within the time constraint, that's how I often use the unmoderated user testing. And the second one I use quite a lot is Hotjar survey. So based on the digital tickets, we know that this area we're gonna launch in the My Account area. So we prompt the user survey there and asking them about their ticket, what's their preference or their ticket scanning formats. And even with a very low traffic in the My Account, we could still receive up to 500 responses in a week. And the third one is the real-time analytics dashboard, which is created by our insight manager. They transfer all the GA data into a dashboard for each team. We could monitor and track the performance of anything that in the past, or if we have new features launched, we could track the performance afterwards. So here are the 3 takeaways of this lightning talk. So I think very important is setting up very clear user segmentations and collaborate across the teams to get like an early buy-in and also get insights from wider teams. And the third one is to leverage those tools that I just mentioned, like the automated surveys or unmoderated user testing tools. And I think hopefully it will help you to balance the quantitative and qualitative in the next time you're doing the user research. And if you have further questions or topic related that you're interested to talk about, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Min-Jung. That's a really nice, insightful lightning talk. We already have a question for you, so I can ask you that, and then if we have time, I might ask you my own question.
Yeah.
But Sophia has a question for you. I'm gonna start or change it a little bit. So, what was the segmentation based on? Because there are different ways as researchers we might look at segmentation, and I think Sophia's question was more, was it based on the the user's context, like a parent of a toddler, or was it based on the ticket type, like a VIP ticket? Could you shed some more light on that?
Yeah, so the tickets, for the ticket, I will put it in two main user groups at the beginning to prioritize them. One is for the users who actually have the tickets and went to the venue to scan, and the other user are the people at the front of house who scan the tickets, because it's really important for them to know if it's the QR code is correct, and also in addition to that, we have some of the service like the lounge or the food and beverage voucher and where you wanted to direct them to. And also for box office, they will need the customer name and the order number and to match that if there's anything going wrong. So for the priority would be these two groups. And then on the venue side of that, you could also dissect into different type of venue, because the different type of venue, the queues and the amount of people are quite different. So you would like to know like what different type of venues they have the challenges. And on the customer side of the user groups, you will also want it to have some subgroups like the people who have access needs and the people who have the membership, like a paid membership. And you also wanted to look at some people probably they will need the ID check. They all have different needs, and they also want different information. So it depending on how much time you will have, and that's how I separate different type of user groups.
So it sounds like you did both. So it's not just one or the other, but depending on your user needs. And if I understand correctly, you were using segmentation to prioritize based on what you were focusing on. So not all users at once, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we will look at like how many users. So for example, although accessibility is still very important, and sometimes if we have time constraint, we probably sometimes would deprioritize them because it's a smaller percentage of our customers, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna drop that. It's just that probably the phase two, phase three, we will bring that into the design.
Since this is about balancing qual and quant, sorry, quality over quantity, not qual and quant, what was most challenging when trying to, and I'm guessing this is a ticketing experience. You mentioned multiple venues. Was context really important as well? Like, or was it just an online product that you were testing?
No, we actually also went to the venue to observe how they scan the tickets and to see the view. And also quite interesting is to when I was in the venue, I could observe how the people talk and what type of tickets formats they are using. So for example, we found that more like elder group would prefer to print out their tickets, and even in different regions, they will have different preference in terms of the ticket formats.
Mhm.
So both the in-venue experience and also for the checking how it presented online as well. And on the food and beverage side, on the bar, we also have this voucher that you could redeem at the venue. So the information needs to be clear enough for the bar staff to take the items for the customers.
Sounds like really interesting research. So I guess the receipts, the scanning, the like setup of how everything is done.
Yeah.
So can I ask you, I'm going to merge a few questions. How were you able to get all these rich contextual insights, especially when you weren't going and visiting all the worldwide venues, but
Yeah.
relying on your partners there? And what was the benefits and trade-offs when you were using things like unmoderated user testing and automated survey? Yeah, that would be really interesting. And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, sure. So I think the trade-off would be, of course, the among the rate testing and the survey is really quick. And sometimes I feel I kind of miss that with the in-person interview, you could ask some follow-up questions, which that I wasn't managed to do. And the unmoderated testing. But I think that I would, if I have limited time, I would still do that first, the quicker way. But noting that you will always get some questions, like there developed new opportunity from the previous research. And if I have time, I could take those insights down and then to do a follow-up in-depth research. Because for this example that I found some new opportunities and I shared it with wider teams. So it seems like some of the stakeholders are interested in the new opportunities, then ideally that we will have more time to do more in-depth research in the next round. But another thing is quite important is to document all the insights which that could be shared with wider team, and you don't lose that insights. And it happened quite often that probably people who just joined the team and didn't know that some research had already been done, and we could keep the research more in depth and doing further.
Mm. Thank you so much. That was really insightful. I think people are asking more and more questions, but I think we should stop, even though I could keep going. We've had amazing lightning talks today.